Hi everyone, today we're doing an abs and glute focused conditioning class. All you'll need is a mat. I will be doing the more advanced version. If you need any sort of modifications on the exercise, follow me along. Let's get started. Let's start with our cardio warm-up. So we're gonna go into our butt kicks.
Summer's gone, I'm latching on. Don't even know your name, but you're still in my head. Underneath rays of gold, your body oh so close. No, I can't forget, no.
And high knees.
When I saw you on the dance floor.
So if you need to, you're following me and you're just stepping the legs up.
I didn't realize the danger, cause you're the end of the rainbow. And the music was so loud. Didn't catch your name over this crowd. Girl, you should wear a name tag, cause all I wanna do is to know your name. Girl, you should wear a name tag, that's the only way that I get your name. Girl, you should wear a name tag, it's too important to be your name. People gonna say when you walk by. Girl, you should wear a name tag.
And jumping jacks. Good job. So we're gonna reach to the corner. You're gonna bring the knee in, really squeezing, contracting the core to reach out. Here we go. 1, 2. And 8, let's reach the other side. Here we go, and pull it in. Contracting that core and exhaling every time. Good, back to the first side. For 6, we go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 4, 4, 3, 2, and switch. 4, 4, 3, 2, and switch for 2. 1, and 2, and 1. Good, 1, and 1, and 1, and 1. Let's keep going. Fun little hip hoppy moves. Good job. Bring it back. Let's go back into those butt kicks. Here we go. How we doing? Into those high knees. Remember, step it out if you need to. Jumping jacks, here we go. Good job. Let's just step it out. Bring that heart rate back down. Start to feel that sweat. Good, let's just take those feet nice and wide. Roll those shoulders down. Going into our mobility warm-up, so let's look up and down, and 2. Side to side, we look side. And other way. Into half circle. So we're just kind of dropping that chin to the chest and then other side. Let's bring that head back up to neutral, into the shoulders. We'll roll with the bounce. 2, 3, and forward for 1, 2, 3. And let's go back with big swims in the arms. And forward, forward, 2, 3. Good. Reach those arms side and into the ribs, side to side. Now we're gonna go double. So think double, double. So a little pulse, pulse on each side. Keep that core squeezed. Let's take that hand and reach it up and over to a side bend and then come right back up. Other side, we reach.
I promised I would wait for you, but I'm getting so impatient. Tell me that you're ready now.
Last one. And bring it up. And we're gonna go into twist. Looking this way first, we'll twist and twist.
Your mind. Do you know the things you do to me?
So keep that core nice and squeezed, and you want your hip bones to face front the whole time. Now don't let the hips come with you. We're just working through the upper body. And bring it back. Good. Let's take it all the way down. Just bend the knees, arch the back, hands go on the ground, straighten out those legs. And then we'll just bend looking forward and then straighten, look back down to the ground. And we'll bend and stretch, bend and stretch and bend. Good. Let's pick up the pace. Here we go. We're going to bend and up and bend and up. Hold those straight legs. Just looking down, you could kind of move the hips side to side and add a little twist in your shoulder. So I'm kind of twisting my opposite shoulder to that opposite foot and then other way. Again, if you can't touch the ground, you just have your hands on your legs like Mei Fong over there. We're just keeping those legs nice and straight. So you can be as high up with the upper body or as low down as you need to feel that stretch. Good, we'll bring it back to center. Let's bend those knees and roll it all the way up to standing. Great work. Going into our squat. So you're gonna think of bringing the feet in a little bit hip width apart, knees and toes facing forward, and we're just gonna squat down. And when you come to the top, I really want you to think of squeezing the glutes. Down and a little squeeze at the top. Make sure that weight is on the back part of your foot, so on the heel. Keeping that core engaged and that upper body up. All right, next we're gonna add a little hop. So I'm gonna go into a squat and hop. Now, if hopping it is too much, you're gonna follow Mei Fong. So see how she goes pulse, pulse, and stand, yes? Or keep up with me where you're going into the hop. Good job. And stand. Now we're gonna turn the toes out, so going into our sumo squat, knees and toes out to the side, and we're just gonna squat down and up. Now on these, I want you to think of pushing the feet into the ground and trying to pull the legs in. So as if you're trying to like pull the legs closed, but you can't because the floor is in the way. So I'm pliing and trying to pull my heels together. And then same thing, you could either add that hop or following Mei Fong, where you're doing your pulse, pulse, and stand. Now if you are hopping, I don't want you to stick out that bum. Think that your back is on a wall. You're staying tall. Good job. Bring it up. Round number 2. Legs in, knees and toes facing forward. Here we go. Squat and just to stand. Let's add that hop or those pulses. Here we go. Bring it up, knees and toes facing out to the side. Here we go, squat down and up. And again, think that you're sliding that upper body along the wall. So don't just stick your booty out and don't lean forward. Nice and tall. Here we go. Last time, let's add that pulse or that hop. And bring it out. Woo! Shake out those legs. We're feeling it, aren't we? Yes. Next, we're going into our abs, so let's take it down onto our mats. And going into our boat pose. So I really want you to think of tucking that pelvis underneath, squeezing that core, and we're gonna reach out and pull it in. And on that pull in, we're gonna exhale. Inhale, exhale. Again, you can follow Mei Fong by having your hands placed behind you. Make sure though, that you don't have a ton of weight into those back hands. They're just there for that little extra support. Good, we're almost there. Making sure you're breathing. Inhale, exhale. Nice work. Let's put those toes on the ground. Sitting up nice and tall, we're gonna twist, little tap the elbow and back. Twist. Again, we're gonna exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And you can follow Mei Fong as always, where she's not gonna tap the ground. She's just doing a little baby twist. Good, bringing it back to center, back to those boats. So this time we're gonna take it down and I'm gonna cross. So my shoulder goes to the outside of the opposite knee. Good, and bring it back. Let's lay all the way on our back. And going into our glute bridges. So we're gonna push up and down. And think of really squeezing those glutes at the very top. Think of pushing those heels into the ground. We're engaging our core. Let's bring our body all the way up. We're gonna go through that one more time, starting with those boats in and out. Here we go. Almost there. And place those toes down. Little twist. Either tapping the elbow or just adding that little twist. Try not to let the knees come with you. So you want to keep the knees pointing up to the ceiling as you do that twist. Remembering to breathe. One more just to even it out. Good, let's reach out back to those. Kind of in and out, adding that little twist. One more. Good job. Bring the body all the way down. Glute bridges to finish off this section. Squeeze those glutes at the top. Keeping our core nice and engaged. Let's hold it at the top. We're gonna add a little bonus of pulses. So I'm gonna pulse those hips up and I'm squeezing the glutes every time. Throwing a bonus at you. And then just hold it up. Hold, hold, hold. We're squeezing the glutes. We have our core engaged. Our hips are up to the ceiling. And bring it all the way back down. Let's roll it all. So next we're gonna go into our lower abdominal muscles. So let's lay back on the ground. We're gonna go into our scissors. So we're gonna reach those legs up. Again, we're thinking of straight legs, pointed toes. So I'm pulling up in the quad, getting rid of that micro bend, pointing that toe. Now, if you wanna follow me, you're gonna crunch up or you could keep the head down. I'm gonna bring one leg to my head and think of a little pulse, and then switch. As always, you can follow Mei Feng. She's kind of grabbing the leg a little bit lower and keeping that head rested on the ground. Try your best to keep those legs nice and straight. And now let's bring those legs back up, pointing up to the ceiling. Relax that body down. We're just gonna beat the legs. So I'm kind of crossing one in front of the other. And then I'm gonna keep beating my legs as I lower my legs down, keeping my back imprinted onto the mat and bring it back up. So at no point does that lower back lift off the ground. You should have no space. So if you start to lower the legs and you feel that back lifting off of the ground, then you've gone too far. So you could kind of just beat the legs just into a little V and then back up. All right, we're almost there, just a few more. And as always, straight legs, pointed toes. You know, as pole dancers, we need those straight legs. Let's do one more. And back up. Good. We're gonna bend those knees, 90-degree angle into a little tabletop. We're gonna add a crunch. So if you find this one too much, you can always just tap the toes on the ground and go into just regular crunches. but make sure those knees don't come into the chest. We really want to think of that 90-degree angle into the knees. And right here is a straight line, as if it's a table. This or coffee cups would fall off. Keep it up. Last one. Relax that head down. We'll reach those legs up again and going into our reverse crunches. So I'm thinking of my toes going right up to the ceiling. So I don't want to see any of this. Boom, up. Yeah, no cheating. You want to think of this going straight up. This will really help with your inverse. Keeping them nice and clean. Good, and back down. Let's go right into those scissors. Here we go. Those legs back up, relax that head down, beating those legs. So just bringing one foot in front of the other to lower down, and then bringing it back up. We're making sure that lower back is connected to the ground. And exhale as you lift up. So every time you're lifting the legs up, you're exhaling and thinking of squeezing that core nice and tight. Here. And we'll bend those knees, going into our tabletop crunches. Last one, relax that head down, reach those toes up to the ceiling, and reverse crunches up and down. So if you do need extra support, you can always place your hands kind of right underneath your bum. May Fong is doing over there. And again, trying to avoid any big momentum with the legs. You want to think of going straight up as much as you can. We're almost there. Let's do two more. 1 and 2. Good. Let's hug those knees into the chest, just kind of rocking it back and forth. And then we'll just roll ourselves all the way up. So next we're going into our glutes. So let's kind of rotate around onto the hands and knees. Now for this one, we're going into kind of a clamshell. And we're gonna lift that one leg up. My knee, see, it's directly to the side. So it's right to the screen. And then I'm bringing it back down. Now I want you to imagine that you have kind of like a block or something on your bum and you're trying to keep it on your bum. So my hips are in alignment. I don't wanna lift it so high up that that block or whatever would be on my back would come off. Yeah, so your leg probably won't lift super high and that's okay. So here we go. We're gonna lift up and down. Good, last one for 8. We're gonna keep that leg up and just straighten and bend. And again, trying to keep the bum nice and flat. So again, that leg won't be super high, but we're really just focusing on activating that glute muscle. Good, let's hold that extension. Hold, hold, hold. Now we're gonna lift it up and over. I'm gonna tap it behind me and then lift it up and over back. And of course, when you're doing this one, you can lift that hip up because we wanna think of that big circle around. And when I come back and over, I'm really trying to tap, again, directly to the side. Good job, let's bring it back. Just kind of recentering yourself. We're gonna go same leg, second set. Here we go, just those up and down. This always reminds me of a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. Good, the 8th one we're gonna keep up. Here we go, let's straighten and bend. Little baby hold. Let's lift it up and over. Woo! We should be feeling our butt burning. One here, so one more, you could do it. Up and over. Good job, just press it back. Let's turn around, other side. Onto those hands and knees. Here we go, other side. Let's lift it up and down for 2. The 8th one, we're gonna hold it up and let's just straighten and we'll bend. And 2. Seven and 8, little baby hold, and let's lift it up and over and back. This is 7. So we have one more. Here we go for 8. And up. Good job. Let's go back to the hands and knees. Just realign yourself. One more set and then we're at our cool down. We can do it. Here we go. Let's lift that leg up and down. Seven and 8. Let's hold it up and we'll straighten and bend for 2. Last one for 8, little baby hold, and then we'll lift up and over. Now we're making sure those legs are straight. Our toes are pointed. We have 2 more. You can do it, and then we're at our cool down. Let's finish strong. 1 more. and bring it. Whew, we did it. Time to cool down. So let's lay onto our backs. You're gonna bring one of your legs up. So you're gonna think of that ankle going to your knee and you're opening that other leg up. So think of bringing the bottom leg into a tabletop. You're gonna take your hands and feed it through and grab on. I like to use this elbow here to just gently press my knee to open it up. And you should feel a stretch in the glute. And we'll bring that leg back down. Switch it out. So we'll take the other leg, cross it over top, bringing it up to a little tabletop, feed the hands through. Just gently pull that knee to the chest. And we'll bring it down. We're gonna roll over onto our tummies. And we'll press it into our cobra. And roll it all the way back down. Press it back to your child's pose. Just take a couple of deep breaths here. One more inhale. As you exhale, bring yourself back up. We'll tuck the toes to stand into our forward fold. Walk those hands in, bend the knees to roll it up to standing. Let's face front, feet nice and wide. Take a big inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, drop it down. One more. We'll roll out those shoulders and shake it out. Amazing work.